is this going to be the closeout box for the radiator?
Yes.
You're boxing it in?
Starts up, you know, this is just cardboard. It's starting this template. I had ideas made at one point in time, and I lost those templates through the build process. But now that we're actually further along with the outer quarter panels and everything, the way it's going to be, obviously, my original idea is still in goings, but now that we actually have some foundation to mount to, things will be changed a little bit, but still the same basic idea. So remaking this so that when I get my aluminum, I have an exact little template to go off of. So this is going to be one of the inside pieces for the airfoil. So this reverse flange here will bolt all the pieces together because the outside of the car is actually steel, 18 gauge, and then this inside stuff it's just no structure or anything here. It's just directing wind. I'm gonna make all this out of aluminum to keep the weight down. We're gonna have layers and layers of metal that adds up really fast, and we're trying to build like somewhat of a race car here, so we want it to be light. So like all my metal work underneath the hood, all my cosmetic stuff will start being made out of aluminum now that the steel stuff is done. So this flange here will be like a hidden hardware. So the air will flow this way. So no hardware will be hanging down to, you know, make turbulence in the airflow. It'll be smooth and flowing. And then there'll be an additional panel that comes over all this nice and smooth. That'll be the actual panel that you'll see. It'll get the leather or whatever we're doing for upholstery, you know, carpet and leather or whatever. That'll be the actual finished panel. And it'll be magnet and whatever it holds that in. That's the upholstery guys. They'll do their magic on that. So that panel can be removed, set aside, and then you can unbolt all of this stuff and work on the radiator and all that crap. So that's the tricky part in what we're doing now. Couple of things. It has to work, and then it has to be all removable so that we could work on the car if something was to break. So if I set this in here, I got to trim it out here. I'm gonna actually tape it to this. I have this piece made to fit the trans tunnel real tight and nice. Now this flange here is actually going to bolt to this flange. I'll hold this all into place, and then this will drop down in here. Once that's bolted there and that's notched out, then this flange will be, so these two will bolt together, and then I'll have this flat flange, and there's a flat flange here on the actual radiator, little flat flange here on the closeouts. So now I'll build another top cover that bolts these all together. Once all this stuff all bolts together, then what would look like a normal package tray that has your speakers and everything below the window would come and then come down and cover all of this ugly metal. This is all just square bent stuff. This is just all purpose stuff. It's all ugly. Then we'll do a cool cover over it. What my plan is, in this little bit of an area here, we're going to do a recess and have like a racing helmet spot. Guy can put the seat forward and get his helmet out, or he can slide the seat back and his helmet will be there. And on that side, we'll do a matching compartment. We'll call that a purse spot, so that, you know, that she can set her purse in there or whatever. You just got a little bit of a storage spot there behind the seats. This car is now a two-seater car, and obviously we got a lot of junk in the trunk, so the trunk's actually going to be small. But with all of this junk in the trunk will actually hold a full set of golf clubs still. So he can take this race car to the golf course. I gotta cut a notch in that. That's that, but that angle's off. His ass clowning around. I gotta change my dies around. Come on, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, baby. Fuck you. These guys just always looking for that comical moment.
Give me some gold. Give me some gold. Dance, monkey, dance.
Maybe it will be after lunch by the time I get my shit figured out. I don't want screws going through and showing through the bottom. I don't want to go where there's frame rail and the frame rail here and over there. There'll be a little foam seal off pad underneath. There'll be a flange filling that gap like this. Be a little thin foam. And I'll bolt it down where I can bolt it, which is about right here on each side. Then that foam will hold it tight. Then the top will be bolted. It won't go anywhere. But I'd like to have some bolts right here. I was thinking there's a piece of frame rail there, but there's nothing there. Just sheet metal.
I will cut you. I'm not cutting you. Not you, Tim. Video man.
Better not.
Video man.
We don't wanna get in trouble.
Got that video.
Video.
We fuck Tim up, his wife would be killing us. Tim makes all that money. Double pay.
Money.
He gets by the hour and the YouTube check.
She might be okay with it. She'll get the insurance money.
Insurance money. Yeah, but
Big insurance.
that's just one check. She gets a check every week.
Yeah, that's
as long
true.
as you're living.
That's true.
She's gonna drag them weeklies out
Yeah.
and then bump you off.
Oh,
You
man.
ain't got the big insurance policy. You're worth more alive than you are dead.
Put me out of my misery.
She needs somebody to call a leaky roof guy and
You're
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know how she thinks. We're married too.
Speaking from experience.
Ain't our first rodeo, is it, Mark?
No.
down there. Roll that one out, roll that one over. So working on the Corvair, we got the radiator mounted and all that. I believe you've seen all that in the last video. Next thing we did was we made what I call the airfoil. Maybe the wrong words, whatever. That's what I call it. Anyway, the air will come down the side of the car and come get grabbed in this scoop, make this corner, and it'll all stay inside this box. The air will be in this box and goes up and has to be forced through the radiator. There's enough space there, enough capacity that the radiator can suck plenty of air, like in traffic or whatever. And then while you're driving, with it being off the side of the car, it's almost like ram air through the radiator. So it'll be a lot of airflow going on, even though that the radiator is all the way in the back. But to keep that air going the direction in the place that we wanted, I had to build this box. Now it's all just setting in there, but I set it all in there so you guys can see where I'm at and what I'm talking about. So this box connects. If you look over here, this is the outside edge of the car, and the box will bolt down on this flange right here, and then it bolts all to the floor, and then the box all bolts together. All this stuff can unbolt and come out of the car, and we can take the radiator in and out and all of that. Your coolant lines will come over the box and go to where they gotta go. Anyway, all the box does is just like I said, it's just like an airfoil. It makes the air go in the direction we want. We want it to go into the car from both sides and out through the radiator. Now, I'll drill and tap and put all the nut certs in where that all bolts together here next. But then after this will all be hidden. When the car's done, you'll never see any of this. There'll be a package tray, comes out like normal, and then it'll come down like a rear seat delete. Put your speakers and everything up there. You'll never know any of this stuff's back here. That's why it's not real fancy. It's got a little bit of bead rolling in it to keep the noise out of the metal. But it's just square edge, bent 90 stuff. Nothing too crazy, didn't want to waste a bunch of time on it. Now we'll make a fancier cover, it goes over it, be wrapped in carpet and leather, or whatever we're gonna do. But the radiator cap will be relocated, so we won't have to get up in there to get to that. It'll be in a different spot. Other than that, we're ready to rock and roll on to the next step. So today's project is pull all this back out, drill and tap, get it all bolted in on the final, and move on to our next deal. The next deal, I think I'm going to start doing the firewall. You see we've got a great big hole up here. I'm going to start making the firewall, and that will get the interior compartment all closed in, and then the interior guys can start scanning whatever they want to do, because we're going to 3D print a dash and center console and everything. So that will get me out of their way and get them more time to be in here to do their thing while I'm working on the under the hood metal, the deck lid metal, and all that shit. Plenty of work to do. We just don't need to be in each other's way. Right now I'm in their way, so I get that buttoned up as quick as I can, let them get in here, and that'll be some cool videos too. They're going to scan all this, and then like I said, 3D print a dash and a bunch of different pieces, and it'll all go together. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to see how they do all that. I've never seen that done. Be pretty neat. I know that dashes are some of the hardest things to make. People don't think about is all the stuff where you're locating your gauges and your switches and your vents and the location of all that stuff and keeping it all straight and level and this and that and user friendly all makes making a dash pretty difficult. So to give them that job takes a load off my chest, and I get to kick back and watch. But anyway, that's where we're at. Got this all made, gonna button it all the way up today, and then probably start doing some cardboard up here, figure out what I'm gonna make. Haven't even really brainstormed on it yet. But get that all closed in and be ready to rock and roll.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more build videos like this, help us out by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. And it's a little thing to do, but don't forget to turn on those notifications. If you want to buy merch, go to store.classiccarstudio.com. See you next time.